Has the clever piece of engineering that was known as DAS made its way back onto a Mercedes car in the form of the W15? Well, that's what everyone is wondering after some eagle-eyed viewers spotted some very shifty looking steering movements and front wheel movements on the W15 onboards from this weekend's Las Vegas Grand Prix. Now, of course, we know the system has been banned after its introduction in 2020, but all may not be as it seems on first impressions, and we'll be getting into that very shortly. But before we do, let's have a very quick reintroduction of what the Mercedes DAS system was initially all about. The DAS system was activated by either pulling the steering wheel or pushing it, and doing either one of those affected the toe angle of the front tyres on the W11. And it had two alignment settings. One was to be used during green flag racing and one to be used to help warm up of the front tyres. So essentially when the drivers were pulling backwards the steering column, this would increase the toe in angle of the front wheels, and to push it forwards it would increase the toe out of the front angle wheels, and this is what the whole system was about. But before going any further with the video, I'm looking to hit the 10,000 subscriber mark before the start of the 2025 F1 season. So if you're enjoying the content and want to be one of the first to find the latest breaking technical news stories from the world of Formula One, such as what you're seeing on the screen right now. And in the past, I broke the front suspension changes in Austria for Mercedes as well, a couple weeks before the main official F1 channel did, I might add. Subscribe to this channel now. Now, fast forward 4 years to the Las Vegas Grand Prix in Sin City, and it seems like we have gotten a somewhat of a complete revamp of this design. As we can see now on the screen, there are multiple different footages of George Russell on laps throughout the Grand Prix weekend, where you can see he is physically moving the steering column of the W15 forwards and backwards. And in tandem with that, the front wheels on the W15 are changing its position. Now, on first glance, this is something that you would think, well, why on earth would they be doing that? It is outlawed. This is not a grey area. It's not something they can get away with. And as we saw 4 years ago, the first instance of them using it, it was picked up live for everyone around the world to see. So it's not really a case of them having reintroduced the DAS system. If some of the people that are very clever and technical have gotten this correct, it is almost the exact opposite, potentially, of what they were doing 4 years ago with this 2024 system. And that's a big if this is turning out to be true. Now, essentially, what this 24 version is trying to do, from what we can detect from the footage and the way the steering column and the wheels are interacting with one another, is this. So, as we're in Las Vegas and the temperatures were extremely low all weekend, they could have been doing the exact opposite of what the original DAS was doing, and increasing the toe out on the straights will help keep the tyres heated. And then heading into the corners, reducing the toe upon braking will increase the stability and reduce the wandering. Now, this is all ifs, buts and maybes. We don't have any confirmation of this. This is something that has only just come to light. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this all goes. But what if this is a figment of everyone's imagination, looking for something that's not there? Well, knowing the facts, I went and did plenty of looking at other drivers on boards from the Las Vegas weekend, as well as from George Russell's over the years, including his time at Williams. And this is what I found. So let's begin with the Las Vegas weekend in its entirety. Now, obviously, people have only looked at George Russell's onboard and seen this interesting movement. But what people didn't do is have a look at all of the other drivers' onboards at, say, the same moment or at different points on the track, and to see whether they themselves are having similar movements. And I went and did that, and I've got a couple of examples to show you all here on screen. Now what you can see is not only do they have exactly the same movements as Russell's Mercedes does, so to me this further supports the fact that this is maybe just a trait and characteristic of something that is occurring in the Las Vegas street circuit, for want of a better way of putting it, and it's not a clever reintroduction of the DAS system. And then we've got the issue of George Russell's onboards from his time in Williams, and this is where it gets even more interesting. Here is his side-by-side from Barcelona of 2019 and 2020 in the Williams cars. At the end of the straight, the exact same movements happen in that car. Now you cannot tell me Williams have been using DAS in their car. They wouldn't have the ability to do so budget-wise, particularly at that point in their life cycle. And then second of all, the system is banned. So I think what we're seeing here is a mixture of things at play. One, it's a characteristic of the Las Vegas circuit, and as this has happened across multiple cars, it is more than obvious and likely it is just something at play that the teams had happening to their cars throughout the weekend, and we didn't see it until someone made a post over on Twitter regarding it. So yeah, I think that is where my viewpoint is at now. There is no DAS on the Mercedes car. They're not doing anything untoward or interesting or within the grey areas of the Formula One technical regulations for this season, unfortunately, because it would be quite an interesting news story to say the least. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have, do leave a like on the video down below. Leave any comments regarding this particular system. Do you think they're doing it or do you think they're not? Let me know. And of course, if you're new and have found your way to this video, do hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for all Formula One content in the future. I'll catch you all later on in the week with some more Formula One content.